"Don't even think about coming to the wedding," my mom snapped. "You'll ruin the photos, Rachel deserves better in her background." I smiled, took back the honeymoon fund, and sent a screenshot. What they didn't know. I own the venue they won't stop bragging about. Hey, I'm Kevin, 27 years old. Up until about 2 years ago, I still held out hope that my family would eventually come around and see me as more than just their go-to scapegoat. But let's face it, people don't change just because you cross your fingers and hope for it. Sometimes, they dig their heels in even more. When that happens, you just have to stop hoping and remember who you really are. I'm the eldest of 3. Then there's Rachel, the golden child, and Eric, the oops baby who was always too young to get involved in family drama. To outsiders, we probably look tight-knit, holiday photos, polite Facebook comments, you know the drill. But behind the scenes, I was the one always expected to clean up everyone else's messes. Like the time Rachel totaled her car in college, I drained my savings to help her cover it up so she wouldn't lose her internship. When mom forgot to pay the electric bill for 3 months straight and tried pinning it on Eric gaming too much, I quietly footed the bill. No, thank yous, just a smug well, that's what family is for, right? I fell for it every time, thinking maybe they'd finally be proud of me. That illusion came crashing down last November. Rachel got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Brandon. We weren't super close, but he seemed harmless enough, the kind of guy who wears boat shoes to Thanksgiving and says, "Killer spread, Mrs. C." I genuinely felt happy for her and thought maybe this was our chance to turn a corner. I texted her congrats, offered to help, and even volunteered to cover the honeymoon costs as a wedding gift. She sent back a half-hearted THX, but I didn't think much of it. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I got a call from mom just as I was wrapping up work. I still don't know if she meant for her tone to sound so nasty or if she just didn't care. Before I could even say hi, she snapped, "Don't think about showing up at the wedding. Rachel's finally going to have her perfect day, and we're not letting you ruin it." I was stunned, trying to figure out what she meant. I wasn't planning on making a speech or anything. Just show up, clap, maybe hug a few folks. Ruin it? How? I asked. Her voice shifted to that sickly sweet tone she uses to sugarcoat something awful. "Kevin, you've never exactly looked the part, you know? Always dressed like you're going to a job interview, and not a good one. The way you hover, it's unsettling. Rachel doesn't want you in the photos." I was floored. Years of bending over backward for them, and I was being told I didn't belong at the wedding, that I upset their perfect little image just by existing. I heard Rachel laughing in the background, like this was all a big joke. "Tell him he can send a gift though," she chimed in. "He's still good for that." I didn't raise my voice or defend myself. I just gave a sly smile, the kind I give my boss when he tries unloading extra work on me. "Sure," I said lightly, "I understand." She hung up. I hopped on my laptop, logged into the joint account meant for the honeymoon gift, and reversed the $4,200 transfer back into my pocket in 5 seconds flat. I took a screenshot and texted it to mom with the caption, "I wouldn't want to ruin anything." No response, but I know she saw it. She always reads messages obsessively. Here's the kicker they have no clue about. Last year, I invested in a chain of mid-tier venues struggling post-pandemic. Coincidentally, one of them is the exact spot Rachel bragged about booking on Instagram, Lakeview Ridge, with its big white gazebo and overpriced brunch menu. When I recognized it, I checked my emails and, yep, it was in our portfolio. Not only do I partially own it, but I also have the final say on all major events there, like weddings. I thought about yanking their booking right away, letting them scramble, but that seemed too quick, too easy. They wouldn't feel it, wouldn't grasp the depth of it. I wanted to let them enjoy their own smugness a little longer. Let them post their countdowns, their dress fittings, and argue over seating charts. Let them laugh behind my back just a few more times. So, I've been quietly watching and waiting. I made a few discreet calls to the event coordinator at Lakeview Ridge, asking to be informed of any issues with the Carson wedding reservation. I looked over the contract and, let me tell you, it's rock solid, except for one small detail buried in the fine print. They need to pay in full 10 days before the event, or they lose the booking. Not a delay, not a postponement, they lose it. With the wedding in 12 days, and as of this morning, no payment has been made. I didn't have to do anything yet. Just watch and wait. Let them keep treating me like I don't matter, like I'm just a footnote they'd rather edit out of their lives. Let them smile for the camera, completely unaware that I'm the one who laid the foundation they're standing on. It's funny how quickly people forget who supported them when the money doesn't flow as freely anymore. I haven't heard a peep from Rachel or my mom since our last call. Not even a half-hearted suggestion to attend the rehearsal dinner as a peace offering. Nothing. Just silence and smugness. But here's the thing about silence, it lets you hear everything they aren't saying. I spent the next few days doing something I hadn't done in a while, living my life without them. I hit the gym, cleaned up my apartment, and treated myself to dinner. For once, my phone wasn't blowing up with requests for favors or money. It was peaceful, a quiet that felt like a well-earned calm before the storm. Then, 5 days before the wedding, I got a message from the venue's coordinator, Amy. She's been at Lakeview Ridge for years and has seen more family drama than a therapist. Her message was short and polite, but the subtext was clear. Hey Kevin, just checking in. The Carson party hasn't paid their final bill yet. I've sent reminders with no reply. Let me know how you want to handle it, since the deadline's close. I called her back and kept it casual and professional. If they don't pay by the deadline, we cancel as per policy. Just follow the contract. Amy hesitated. You sure? They're really banking on this. They've got a string quartet, and I even heard something about doves during the vows. I chuckled. Doves? Fancy, she laughed. Okay, I'll stick to the protocol. Deadline's in 2 days. I could have warned them. I could have texted Rachel, hey, just a heads up, your payment's overdue. But I didn't. They made it clear I wasn't family, just a walking wallet they could ignore. So, I decided to let the chips fall where they may. On the morning of the deadline, I took the day off, treated myself to breakfast, eggs, coffee, extra crispy bacon. I checked my email around noon. Still nothing. No payment, no message, no last-minute panics. Just radio silence. That evening, Amy marked the booking as cancelled. At 7:18 p.m., I got a call from an unknown number and let it go to voicemail. Then another call from the same number. I finally answered. Hi, is this Kevin? This is Teresa, Rachel's wedding planner. I almost laughed. Of course, it was. Yes, I replied calmly. So, there's a minor issue with the venue. Seems like our payment didn't go through. Any way we can confirm it's still on for Saturday? I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. Nope, no glitch. Deadline passed last night. The booking's released. Silence followed, then the sound of muffled arguing in the background. Before she returned, her voice thin, but can't you make an exception? This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. The bride's ready, guests are flying in. Teresa, I said gently, I get it. But the contract is the contract. They should have paid on time. We gave them plenty of reminders, she stammered, then said, I'll talk to Rachel. An hour later, my phone rang again. This time, it was Mom. Kevin? She barked, skipping the niceties. What's the deal with the venue? She was bawling her eyes out. They blamed me for the booking getting cancelled, which was weird because I didn't even touch it. Deadline slipped by, but I had the coordinator's contact info. My sister accused me of knowing and doing nothing about it. Like, come on. You think I should keep covering for you? I shot back. Silence. Then she went all icy with a do you hate me that much? Nope, I replied, a bit miffed. I'm done being treated like I'm invisible. You didn't want me ruining your photos, so I stepped out entirely. She got snarky, you always make it about you. Actually, I said, you made it about me by deciding I wasn't worth a spot at your perfect wedding. She hung up on me. Later, I got a text from Rachel. No hey, just, you couldn't give us a heads up? And then, wow, you're so bitter. I just ignored them. I knew I held the cards now. The venue was off limits, and their dream wedding was crumbling. Vendors were bailing, and they had no clue what was coming. Their perfect day was built on borrowed cash and people's favors, including mine. They didn't even know I funded the honeymoon, but they acted like it was all Brandon's doing. I really wanted them to have a fairy tale start, but my face didn't fit their picture. Now, with only 4 days left, venues were scarce and everything was falling apart. The best part? Their sweet deal with the venue was courtesy of me pulling some strings, and now it was toast. Brandon rang me up, trying to patch things up. I let him squirm a bit, then dropped the bomb that I had paid for the honeymoon. He was stunned. I didn't know that, he stuttered. Yep, your fiancée made sure of that, I said. She told me I ruined the photos, so no honeymoon and no rescue mission for me. He tried to reason with me, but I was done caring. A few hours later, I got an email from Amy about the venue situation. This was getting interesting. So, here's the scoop. Rachel was in full meltdown mode when she called the venue, crying her eyes out about the event being cancelled. She claimed it was a complete shock and totally unfair. She wanted to speak to the owner directly, but Amy asked if I wanted to take care of it myself. I told her to hold off for a bit. Instead, I had a better idea. I jumped onto the venue's back-end system and added a little update to their homepage. Heads up. Lakeview Ridge is booked for a private corporate event on April 27th. No weddings on this day, sorry. That just so happened to be Rachel's big day. I didn't use their names, because I didn't need to. Anyone searching for last-minute bookings would see it, and other venues would think we were booked solid. I just stealthily turned off the lights on any backup plans Rachel had. Later that night, Aunt Claire texted me, "Hey sweetheart, can we talk? Rachel's beside herself, and your mom's losing it." I pondered for a moment before replying. She said I'd ruin her photos, and I took that seriously. My message was left on read. The next morning, there was drama in the family group chat, not mine, theirs. My cousin sent me screenshots. My mom was fuming, blaming everyone from me to Amy, and maybe even Mercury in retrograde. She ranted about how this wasn't how families act and how she'd gone above and beyond to include me. Rachel chimed in, saying, "He's been jealous since high school. I knew he'd make it about him." That jealous jab felt like a punch wrapped in silk. Jealous of what? The fake world she'd built, full of empty compliments and backstabbing whispers? I had made my own way by quietly working hard, giving without needing applause. And now, I was the bitter one for not letting them burn me again? So, I made a choice. I forwarded everything to Amy with a note, "You can respond now. Tell them the owner reviewed it and they can't rebook." Then, I made a call. A buddy of mine, Carter, owns a fancy catering service downtown. I cashed in a favor for a little event, a small corporate lunch, nothing extravagant, on the same day, same time, same venue. Carter laughed, "You're booking the spot on their wedding day? Savage." "Not just booking it," I replied, "I want photos all over Instagram. Make it look like the party of the year." He paused, "Kevin, you're really doing this?" "Yup, they didn't want me at the wedding, but that didn't mean I couldn't leave my mark." Saturday came with the kind of weather brides dream about: clear skies, perfect temperature, and a serene lake view at Lakeview Ridge. I got up early just to relish the moment. I took my time with a nice shower, brewed some quality coffee, and even ironed my shirt for kicks. Then, I settled by the window, phone in hand, eagerly waiting for the chaos to go viral. The first post came from Rachel's old college roommate, a selfie in her car looking confused. "Is the venue closed? Did I miss the memo?" More posts followed, the bridesmaids all dolled up but stuck outside, groomsmen in tuxes pacing around, and a flower girl napping in the back seat. They hadn't informed anyone. I figured Rachel or my mom would have at least done some damage control. But nope, they were confident someone, me, would sweep in to save the day, so they didn't bother to warn their guests. Entitlement met reality. Then came the post that cracked me up. Lakeview Ridge was hosting a posh lakeside luncheon, complete with white tablecloths, crystal glasses, and a pyramid of champagne. The backdrop? Rachel's floral arch, now the dessert bar, repainted with "Success starts here." I could only imagine Rachel's face. Around noon, Amy called me, struggling to hide her laugh. "Kevin, we have guests trying to climb over the side gate." I burst out laughing. "Seriously?" "Yep." The day was unfolding just as I intended. So get this, the groomsmen swore he had an insider hookup for the venue. But I let them know it was all privately booked, and security was on it. They even showed up with 2 dove handlers and a crate, just chilling on the curb, looking super confused. I couldn't help but chuckle. "Amy, you were a lifesaver with all this, I totally owe you one." But she said, "Nah, you don't owe me a thing. This has been my best Saturday shift in ages." Then, at 2:41 p.m., it happened. My mom called. I just let it ring. Then Rachel hit me up, then Brandon, and my aunt too. Didn't pick up for any of them. Instead, I jumped into the family group text I've been silent in for ages. Just typed "you're welcome" and bounced from the chat. Later, my younger brother Eric, the only one who ever really saw me, reached out. He skipped the wedding and called me the day after I pulled the funds for the honeymoon. He was like, "If they're acting like you don't exist, I'm not pretending they're perfect." He was pretty quiet, but you could tell he was fed up too. His message was straight to the point. "I saw the posts. Honestly, I'm proud of you. They needed this." And for once, I felt it, real closure. See, folks like Rachel and my mom are all about appearances, whether it's a seating chart or a fitting. They care about the stories they'll share over drinks in the future. What I gave them wasn't just a botched wedding, but a wake-up call. No one's going to remember how stunning Rachel's dress was. They'll remember waiting in heels outside a locked venue for hours, or the doves that didn't soar. They'll remember the brunch served to some corporate team while wedding guests stood around outside. Eventually, someone will say, maybe, just maybe, Rachel wasn't the victim here. 2 days later, my mom showed up at my place. She didn't knock, she pounded. I took my time opening the door. She looked worn out, mascara smudging her tired eyes, but her voice was still sharp. "You think you proved something?" she snapped. I calmly replied, "I know I did." She claimed I humiliated my sister, but I told her straight up, she humiliated me. "You did too, for years. You thought I'd just take it, be there to clean up and stay quiet. Not anymore." She stepped forward, maybe ready to argue, but I didn't let her. I laid it all out. I bought the venue, paid for the honeymoon, supported the family when no one else did, and they erased me for the sake of appearances. So this time, they got erased in return. She stood there saying nothing, so I added, "Tell Rachel I'm not mad, I'm free. That's a better gift than anything off her registry." Then I shut the door. Months passed without a word from them. Meanwhile, Eric and I started hanging out for dinner twice a week, talking about work and life, and sometimes even laughing about the whole wedding fiasco. I got a few sly messages from people at the wedding, subtly congratulating me. Didn't need a parade or a moment in the spotlight. I found something way better: peace, power, and a family I chose. So, I took their perfect picture and torched the frame. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real life stories happening around you.